Hello, and welcome to this week's episode of Give It a Year. My name is Jenny Q, and this is my podcast diary. It is my cyberspace, a little pocket of positive space in the cyber world, where I invite you to come and eavesdrop in on my thoughts, my creations, my writing, my art, my struggles, my challenges, and just sometimes a good story here and there. I will tell you that I do have 4 podcast promises. They are located in my write-up, so if you're curious, go check those out. Otherwise, I will just jump on in. If you've never been here before, I'll just let you know that there's no real structure. Every week is different. Every theme is different, although things do tend to flow with each other. Since February, this has been very much a reflective online journal. And my hope is that it's providing some positivity in the world of cyber world for people who might be struggling with similar things that I am. So, with that, I'm going to tell you this week's episode is called I Got Nuttin'. I Got Nuttin'. So what that means is I think I'm spent. I think I'm burned out. And it means I've lost a bit of my creative edge. I've lost a little bit of momentum. I've lost a lot of momentum. I've been struggling to get here on Tuesdays. That's one of my podcast promises, is to be here every Tuesday. It is now Thursday. I should have been here 2 days ago. But life has been throwing me quite a few curveballs this year. 26 has been a challenge. Anyway, and so I have been through slumps like this in my life before, long before I ever did this podcast. And so I did what I sometimes do, which is I will do something a little bit different to get out of it. My typical response is I beat myself up. I turn to food, I emotionally eat, and I cry a lot. So this time, I have been focusing on my health. I have been continuing my workouts. I have been going for walks. I have been eating better food, healthy food, smaller portions, all that kind of good stuff. I have been struggling, and emotionally, physically, spiritually. And so I've decided to put down technology, because I've realized that technology, despite how much I love it, and I really do, I love technology so much. I love I can do this podcast. I love that I can FaceTime with people. I love that, I can electronically record so many things. I love that I can print and create and do all those amazing things. I love AI, the creative AI, despite being an artist. I'm wary of it, but I love some of the things that you can do, which is very cool. But I do believe as humans we get caught up and we get heightened and we forget to slow down. And so multiple things happen, at least for me. I think I get heightened. I push and I push and I push and I get spent. And that's where I am right now. I got nuttin', honey. But the trouble is, I translate that into meaning that I'm not worthy. And that I don't have anything to offer, which is actually kind of the opposite. I have so much I want to offer, and so much I want to do, and so many things and interests that I kind of stop. And so the newest thing that I've done now is I've started listening and reading, reading real books. And, I just finished The Tao of Pooh. And so that's led me to study and listen to some Buddhist stories. And it put the thought in my head today that, having nuttin' is just part of the cycle of life. Right? Like, you can't always have something to offer. You can't always be on the go. And to have nuttin' truly is an impossibility if you exist. you know, and a lot of the challenges are in your head. And the main message that I've been hearing and all the things I've been listening to the last week or so is be still. Just be still. And so I've decided that for a portion every day, I will go and lay on my bed. No phone, no music, no technology, not even my boyfriend in the room. And I will just lay down. Just me on the top of the bed. And sometimes I stay awake, sometimes I fall asleep. And I just am. And it's amazing, you know, you hear the sounds from outside. I actually could feel my heart beating. I could hear my heart beating in my ears, you know, that little thump, 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 you know, and it's really cool. It really is. And what I'm realizing is when I feel burned out, I still push. I still try to achieve. I still try to do stuff. And I think that's detrimental, for me anyway. And so this last week where I've done that little bit where I've rested for half an hour and I've gone for a walk every day, and I've started doing my workouts in the morning without music, just so I can connect with my body. And I think there's something to that, you know? Anyway. I didn't want to, excuse me, I didn't want to not do my podcast because it's important to me. And I'm realizing it's important to me because I need a space where I can share. And because I am recently in a space where I don't have a lot of energy, for many reasons. The fact that I do this and there's the potential that one person somewhere in the world listens to this gives me hope. And so that's why I do it. And I hope that me sharing my struggles and the positivity that I can spin on it and that I try to live by will inspire someone else, or at least allow someone else to feel they're not alone in their insanity. And I don't think it's insane. So, having said that, I'm going to wrap up and I'm just going to say, when you feel like you have nothing, which is where I am right now, it's okay if you pay attention to nature. You know, everything beautiful has to have a pause, has to have a rest. I love, and I've mentioned it in my podcast before, I love the example of music. In music, you have notes, and notes can be full, half, quarter, 16th, 18th, you know, and in between those notes are the pauses or the silence. So if you don't have the pauses or the silence, it's just constant sound, and then it's not music, it's just sound, you know. So instead of having, you know, do 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 do, it would be do, right? Even if it's really quick, you have those little pauses, and it gives you a break, and it allows you to appreciate every part. In nature, it's the same thing. That in Canada, anyway, you have winter, spring, summer, fall, and winter is the rest, and then spring is where you're renewed and you begin and you do again, and you know it's the cycle of life. And then summer you harvest, and or you plant and you whatever, and then in the fall you harvest, and then you get ready to rest, and it cycles. And I think life is like that. You know, when you're young, you go through puberty and it's heightened, and you're in your 20s, you're go, go, go. 30s, you kind of rest a little, but then you become a family, and then you're up, and then you're down, and then you're retirement, and then you get old, and then you pass, right? Like it's pretty interesting. You know, and another example is if you are constantly, and I don't think this is going to be clear, but I'm realizing, like, if you're constantly online or constantly in someone's face or constantly doing something and you don't rest, you don't have a chance to, you know, rest, which is important, but it also doesn't give you a chance to sort of recount or reflect or do any of those other things that could allow you to go to a different position or a different place or expand on what you've already created. So I think I'm coming to the conclusion, and the summary of what I'm trying to say today is, if you're like me and you feel like you should be doing more and you feel like you got nothing, it's okay. Because as the Buddhists are teaching me through their stories, that's life. The only thing in life that's a constant is change. So if you can actually understand that and appreciate that change is, you're not always going to be in the forefront. You're going to be at the back. You're not always going to be in the back. You're going to get to the front again. It is what it is. And I know that for myself, I get stuck in my head. And you can only ever truly be here in the moment. And in this moment, I wanted to make sure I completed my podcast. Because I am confident, if anyone listens to this, there are other people in the world right now who feel stuck. They feel done. They feel like there needs to be so much changed in the world, or so many people need help, and yet they need help themselves, or they're just exhausted because they're working so hard, or they're raising a family, or whatever it is. And I think, me included, we underestimate, by just being who you are, you contribute, and we miss that. So if you feel like you're not doing anything or you got nothing, it doesn't mean you don't have anything to offer. You're still you, and you still matter, and you still make a difference. And that's something. So even if you got nothing in you, you are something, if you can follow that. So my question this week, and this entire thing was off the cuff, my question this week then for you is, when you feel like you got nothing left to give, do you rest or do you beat yourself up? What do you do when you feel like you have nothing left to give? Do you attack yourself or do you let yourself rest? Because I'm realizing, when I've been thinking about it the last week or so, I beat up on myself. And I think, oh my God, I'm not doing enough. And just existing is enough. It's a hard thing to accept in this world when we're told we're supposed to be everything. But, Anyway, I'm going to wrap that up. And I'm going to remind you, with the 3 things that I always say at the end of every episode. Even if you feel you got nothing, you make a huge difference when you share your smile, and you share your love, or your kindness, and you share your laughter. Your smile is magic, your kindness is magic, and so is your laughter. And with that, I'm going to say, even though I feel like I got nothing, I did something, and I hope someone was able to enjoy this evening's episode, or today's episode, whenever you listen to it. Have a great week, everyone, and hopefully I'll see you on Tuesday. But if you don't hear from me on Tuesday, I will definitely be back next week. Have a great week, everyone, and remember, it's okay to rest.